fashion. The girls with a passion for fashion. Bratz.
What's up you guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to Steal the Spotlight. Today I am excited to be filming a Bratz themed video. I know me along with like every other person on the internet, and it may seem like I'm a little bit late to the trend, but pause, because I actually filmed a Bratz lookbook back in like late 2017, so I guess I was kind of ahead of the trend, but honestly any excuse to film another one I am all here for, because in my everyday life I would say that Bratz, TLC and K-pop idols are like my top 3 style inspirations when I'm getting dressed in the morning. So I thought that this time around, instead of just doing another lookbook or doing a makeup tutorial like so many other people are already sharing, I would kind of combine the two a little bit and share my top 10 essentials to transform into a real life Bratz doll. So yeah, 10 tips total. I have 8 outfits to share for inspo and then 2 more beauty sort of tips, and obviously your girl ain't no makeup guru by any means, but I'll leave a link to some like full-on tutorials because there's so many going around with the Bratz challenge at the moment. Obviously a lot of which are very dramatic, but these are like the couple of tips that I think are a nice subtle way to do a nod to a more doll-like look without going too far out of my own personal comfort zone. The first one definitely has to be your eyeliner. Obviously a nice big winged out look, but I think that the key really is to extend it all the way into the inner corner and maybe even just exaggerate it a tiny bit and bring it all the way down along the waterline as well. I literally just do my exact same go-to makeup look, and just by extending this liner makes all of the difference. And then of course the only other real factor are the lips. Gotta make sure they're nice and plump and juicy, and I actually have like naturally fairly big lips, at least my bottom lip I guess. I got made fun of for it a ton in high school. I absolutely hated them, and then Kylie Jenner came and saved the day and made it trendy, so hey. Thankfully, I don't really have to overdraw them too much, and I don't use a lip liner. Perhaps that would be a better method, but I actually just go in with a lip brush and the color lipstick that I always wear. If you guys are ever wondering, this is pretty much the only one I wear. It is Too Faced Sellout, and then you got to finish it off with some gloss. I usually just choose any clear one. Honestly, I usually go for like the cheapest one I can find, and often I just focus it in the center. And the other thing before we move into clothes is the hair, because I feel like that was one of my favorite parts about Bratz as a kid. Like, you know, I had my Barbies and they just had boring ass hair. It was like just straight or in a ponytail, but when it came to Bratz, I literally got inspiration even as a kid. I remember asking my mom to do my hair like Yasmin, and yeah, I think that it definitely plays a big role in the overall look. If you guys are struggling for inspiration, then honestly just have a look at some pictures of Ariana Grande, because I swear that's where her hairstylist gets all of her inspo as well. It's super fun to play around with some like Y2K hair clips, scrunchies, pom poms, doing half up, half down, leaving out like a severe side fringe. Again, very early 2000s vibes. There's a heap of different options you can play around with that hopefully you'll find one that suits you. Personally, I feel the most like a Bratz doll when I have the perfect mini skirt. Those girls know how to serve legs. And honestly, I'm not a very tall person. I'm not quite 5'4", but when I wear this particular mini skirt that I thrifted, I legit feel like Naomi Smalls. Also, this particular mini skirt actually reminds me a lot of the skirt that Jade wears in the new collection, and I think having that little slit on the thigh is definitely like an extra step to having the Bratz look. But I mean, really, what is a mini skirt without the iconic Bratz platforms? I feel like they are a total must. I know sometimes they would do like this sort of stiletto shoe, especially if it was like prom night theme or something, but for the most part, when I think of Bratz, I definitely think of chunky shoes. My go-to are these Buffalo London inspired ones from Windsor Smith. I have them in black and white because they're legit like my everyday shoe now, especially the black ones. I feel like I just wear them with everything. But honestly, the options are endless. Just platform, insert any shoe type here, heels, sneakers, boots, whatever. Bratz definitely love a bit of a glam moment, and I found that a lot of the time the way that they execute this is by throwing on a bit of faux fur. So that is my next essential. I actually style a couple of different coats throughout this video, but for this look I decided to go for the classic leopard print faux fur. This has become a staple in my wardrobe over the years. I've probably had this coat for like at least 6 years now. I really do love how the leopard teams up with the red, but any animal print I think is another essential for Bratz dolls. So I guess this is kind of like a 2-in-1 because I totally forgot to include animal print separately. As much as I love a good mini skirt, these girls are no one-trick ponies. They're also a huge fan of flares, boot cuts, wide leg pants, pretty much anything but skinny jeans, which like, thank you. This outfit was definitely inspired by a particular collection, and I don't actually know the name of it, but I do know I owned at least 3 of the dolls from that line, and it has a very kind of autumnal feel to it, very warm, earthy colors, and a lot of denim as well. So I think this one's a really cool way to take inspiration without having to go really over the top and glamorous. Perhaps the biggest influence that Bratz ever had on me was their love for headwear, because I don't know, I've always been someone who just loves to wear hats. I feel like it's not super common here, but damn, any chance I get, I am throwing one on. I don't care if it's a bucket hat, if it's a beanie, if it's a beret. I mean, beret preferably, probably. But one that they do style a lot and I recreated here was the kind of baker boy hat. I feel like there's 100 different names for that one particular style of hat, but I'm going with baker boy. This one is just plain black, but obviously in the last outfit I had a plaid patterned one, so really you can go as minimal or as crazy as you like. I actually found it kind of difficult to narrow it down to a specific top type. I guess overall probably just crop tops, but I wanted to go in a little bit further and decided to choose baby tees because that's one of my favorite things that they wear. There's just something really casual about it, but then when you pair all these other points with it, it brings that extra little bit of spice. This Paul Frank one feels very nostalgic. I never actually owned one as a kid because they were kind of expensive, right? But I found this one at the thrift store in the kids section for like under $5, so living out my dreams now. This one's a little bit different because it's not an item of clothing, it's actually just a concept, which is themed dressing. I feel like obviously that was a huge part of Bratz. They would come out with a collection, there would be an overall theme, and everyone would dress to that, whether it was prom, winter wonderland, a punk theme, like there's so many different options, and that's definitely a mentality I like to take on when I'm dressing. You guys know I am all over the place, and the main reason for that is because I enjoy so many different themes. So it's really fun to kind of take that inspiration from them and just be able to dress in a different style every day. Also, I do feel like with the Bratz challenge going around, a lot of people are just focusing on that glam sort of side. So I think it's good to remember that even if you're not into that girly sort of look, you can definitely still get inspo from the Bratz. Last but not least is another accessory, and it is the mini bag. I suppose this is just a wardrobe essential of Y2K, early 2000s style in general, but I thought I'd throw it in here because I really do feel like a lot of the time it just completes the outfit perfectly. Low-key, this is probably my favorite outfit of the bunch, hence why I left it till last, but I've actually had this t-shirt since I was about 10 years old, and I dug it out especially for this because it has that perfect girl power sort of vibe to it. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up for me please, and of course let me know which Bratz looks were your favorite. Also, as a kid, who was your favorite Bratz girl? For me, I loved Yasmin. I thought she was so pretty, but these days I probably take more inspiration from Jade, I would say. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and if you guys are joining in on the Bratz challenge too, then feel free to tag me on Insta as well because I love anything Bratz themed. And hopefully I'll see you guys over there, which is at Steal the Spotlight, by the way, or otherwise just in my next video. Thanks guys. Mwah.